Right, got a Squier Vintage Modified Jag. Basically what's happened to it is this switch is taking a hit or something and it's forced the bottom out of the housing of the switch. So that's just a really straightforward repair. I mean, I'd unsolder it to make it just a little bit easier, but don't really need to. So it's just a case of positioning the, what can you see? So we've got two sliding contacts here. 1, 2. And they correspond with notches in the switch on the user interface, I suppose. And then you've got the housing, which just goes together like that. And then you can see it on this one, there's 4 tabs, 2 on each side like this, which grip onto the wafer. This is a case of holding it in place and bending the tabs down. As you know, easier said than done. But you know what will make this easier? Not dropping the guitar, obviously. There they are. Just stopping the main body of the switch sliding around too much. You know what, I might have to hammer this. Found my wee doohickey thing. Don't know what to call this because it's, well, I suppose it is a kind of awl, but I've just flipped the thing around. I can hit this. To bend the switch, the tabs round. Come on. There we go. I'll show you. Come on, focus. Bottom left there, that's the first one bent round. I'm just going to go ahead and do the other 3. So, 2 seconds. Right, and just bent the other tabs down, screwed it in place. That's it working. It does feel a bit, like, see, you've got a snap there, and then it's a bit softer to push up, so I don't think it's going to have any real functional difference. Oh, sorry, just looking at the contact cleaner, but it's a little feel thing that I don't know, that I personally don't like. Just make sure these are all cleaned out. Go, that paper towel. I'm just trying to clean up what I can. It is a wee bit dirty, but I don't think that'll be a big problem. Might go over that one to clean the rest of the electronics, but for now I'm going to see if this thing will play. I mean, actually play, because you've got things like this A-string saddles that are way down and all that kind of jazz. Right. Please be the right size. You are. So how am I going to show this? So all I'm doing is measuring the action at the 12th fret. I want to get this saddle up so the A string isn't buzzing off the body of the bridge. So I'll just bring this up. And I'm shooting for 2mm, which that is almost at. It doesn't have a micro tilt, which makes me a little bit concerned. So that's no longer hitting the bridge, but you can hear it buzzing off of something else. Actually, that can come off a little bit more, which I want to see. Really, when you're adjusting the bridges, just this. Not a lot of talking, measuring, you know. These strings just the same, needs to come up. A little too high actually. Like I say, I've looked for 2mm on the wind strings, bass side strings. You can come down. Even up, I also want to make the saddles parallel to the body of the bridge. And right now I'm not concerned about tuning or anything like that, I'm just getting a reading. That's good, and the saddle's straight, roughly. Right, let's see what happens. Get a plectrum out just to I think you need to check as well if what you're hitting against when you get noises like that. That's hitting off the bridge. Sorry, it's kind of messing about now. So it does need a fair bit more work. I want to change the neck angle so I can bring the whole, maybe the whole bridge up slightly, but it's definitely bring the saddles away from the body of the bridge. Or could I actually turn the bridge around? That's a thought. Need to get the strings off, have a think about this. Right, what I'm going to do with this neck is make shims basically. I'm going to make the StewMac style shims, just layering up some maple veneer. I'm going to cut around to draw around even. All I did was put some double-sided tape on the neck, lay it on here and then draw around it. For quickness I'm going to cut the back curve with scissors. Actually kind of cut the whole up with scissors. I think I can. The obvious trouble with this is you're going with the grain, so the cuts will have a tendency to follow the grain line rather than your pencil line. And the reason I'm making this is just because the veneer is cheap. You can, I think it was maybe 10 quid for, looks to be about 10 sheets. I just don't use a lot of it, so it's no big deal. Cut across. Mostly fits in the pocket, just needs a bit of refinement. Okay. Right, so that's what we end up with. I'm just going to draw that line across here. Because you want it to be somewhat invisible. Go. See, I'm in trouble with grain lines that just snapped along the grain line. And get that double side tape cleaned off eventually. So yeah, I'm going to make another layer and sand an angle into it. Come back in a bit. Alright, get out of the way. Right, nothing fancy here, bit of tight bond. Get that out of the way. Whatever, we took the dried glue off the lid. Enough. I keep daft things like train tickets and that because they actually do make good glue spreaders. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, which I don't at the moment. Otherwise I'd normally just spread this with a finger. Yeah, do something that way, so that is that. Rub it till it kind of holds. There we go. I just want to cup a bit because I think I glued the wrong sides together. But it's not going to make a huge difference. There we go. Go in and just in case you miss, it's literally just under my mini strap and neck rest to glue it together. And I'll probably come back to that tomorrow or later on, but yeah, I think just now I'm just going to clean this up, and I've got another Squier to do. It needs a partial refit. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll clean the body up and then leave it at that. That's all there is to the shim. What you can see, I can't see it, but is tapered like that. All I did was put the sander in a vise and just press it on, and that was it. And then put it clamped in here to drill the holes, and that was it. Nothing difficult to it. It is 3 layers of maple I went with, rather than sticking with the 2. After I had the 2 together, I thought, could be doing for being a bit thicker. So it's just on with the rest of the setup at the moment. Once I get the neck back on, that is. It's just 4 screws, you don't need to see that, so you can just look at the back of the guitar on the workbench for a few seconds. Basically there's not a lot to be doing. I might skip. I won't skip over this. The frets are feeling a bit sharp, so I'm just going to round the ends of those a bit. Yeah, that's much better. Right, I'm going to stop the camera to do that, but what I will do on here is just going to make sure the nut's at the right height. No, this is a really short scale. Again, I have to do this based off the frets rather than the fingerboard, but it'll still work. They're all good at the right height, so I just need to clean it up. You've seen me take the nut down a million times at this point, but that's really nothing to it. Yeah, so I've got it here. These just want to go straight. All I'm doing with this is like widening the slot slightly and cleaning the bottom, using the file to clean the bottom of it. That's it. really not taking off a lot at all. Also helps if you remember to use the right side. Creaky floorboard under me. Come on. There we go. There we go. I'll take a bit of height off of this. Right, I'm going to stop there because you see me shape and polish nuts a bunch of times if you watch my videos. So you know, next after this is polishing the frets, clean the fretboard down and oil it, and then get strings on. Really not a lot to this one beyond that switch, making it playable. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Sorry, no, I'm chopping and changing, but that's what you're dealing with just the pad. I brought it up to, luckily there's enough thickness in the pad to bring it up this far, but you know, you've got all that movement where you've got, that's not going anywhere. And you want your pickups to be solid, because if you're like leaning on it, playing and different things, you're going to move this in different ways, and you want to have a consistent tone, especially if you're like playing in a studio. You don't want to be having loud and quiet jumps, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's why springs. Right, so after shimming the neck, that's how everything's looking. So you can see the, on focus. Now you can't see the high string in the end there. As the bridge ends ended up. So that was sitting on the body before, and you couldn't really get the action low enough. Now you've got all the adjustment in the world, and it's working properly with the trim. So if I hold this steady, which I don't seem to be doing. Sorry. Just if you don't know how a jag trim works, the bridge rocks because it's pivoting on the post. Rocks back and forth with it used to the trim system. So just a quick rundown how a jag works like that. And yeah, action 2mm on the bass side, 1.5mm on the treble side. It's quite late at night. Well, it's 20 to 11. I'll probably likely be getting this back to its owner for sale tonight, so I can't exactly do a plugged in demo, but you know, is it a police riff on this guitar? But yeah, that's all there is to really say about this thing, given it's 20 to 11 and, you know, can't really plug it in. That's how the nut ended up as well. So pretty happy with that, and it plays alright for the most part. And as I say, this will be going up for sale tonight or tomorrow. This might be long gone by the time you see this video, but that's not relevant. So yeah, like I say, springs in the pickups, they are solid, they're not going anywhere, and they'll adjust precisely when you need them to. And yeah, got the saddles out the way of the body of the bird, so you've got no buzz at the bridge, and it's playing great. I actually really like this thing. Never understood Jags before now, and I'm thinking, even though this is vintage modified, it is probably quite an underrated guitar. I don't see many of them out in the wild, and you see the people that do play them love them, but that's all I've got to say about this one.